Have you ever wondered about the mysterious tales of Enoch and the powerful ones? Enoch's story, as told in the Book of Enoch, reveals astonishing details about his encounters with these mighty beings. Imagine 200 celestial watchers descending to Earth, mating with human women, and giving rise to giants. This narrative is not just in Genesis 6 but echoes across cultures worldwide. In 1984, in the coastal town of Anloga, Ghana, a young woman reappeared after 3 years of being missing. Her family was overjoyed, yet bewildered by her sudden return. Her story: she was abducted by the mysterious Mamiwata people, held captive underwater, and forced to bear children. These beings, often compared to mermaids or sirens, are described as beautiful yet otherworldly. This legend of aquatic abductors has been part of African and Caribbean folklore for thousands of years, far predating its modern retellings. The story of Enoch in the book of Genesis states he walked with God, and then he was no more because God took him away. But what if this is a mistranslation? The original text might suggest that Enoch walked with the Elohim, a term often translated as God, but which actually means powerful ones. This hints at a more complex and intriguing narrative. The Book of Enoch offers a detailed account of what it meant for Enoch to walk with these powerful beings. It tells of human women being taken by celestial beings, resulting in hybrid offspring. It also chronicles Enoch's cosmic journeys, revealing hidden truths about other dimensions and the universe. One fascinating episode describes Enoch being guided through the cosmos by Uriel, an advanced being who teaches him about the laws of the universe and astronomy, albeit through the lens of a geocentric worldview. Interestingly, the prophet Ezekiel also describes a similar experience in the Hebrew tradition. He speaks of being taken aboard a flying craft by a human-like pilot, who shows him various ancient cities before dropping him off in Tel Aviv. Scholars have long debated whether Ezekiel's account was a vision or a real physical event. Could it be one of the earliest recorded instances of what we would today call an alien abduction? These ancient texts and stories, whether they come from the Book of Enoch or the tales of the Mamiwata, challenge our understanding of history and the cosmos. They compel us to look deeper into these narratives and consider their implications on our perception of reality. Join us as we explore these intriguing stories and uncover the hidden history they reveal. Let me share with you some fascinating cosmic tales that might just blow your mind. Let's start with apocalyptic literature. What does that mean exactly? It's when someone witnesses something utterly mind-boggling, something they can't quite comprehend. They simply describe what they saw, hoping readers can piece together its significance. Take Ezekiel, for example. He didn't call his experience a vision. He detailed where he was when a strange craft picked him up, the places he flew over, and where he was dropped off. He was so disoriented afterward that he couldn't speak for 7 days. During his journey, he described the craft in awe, marveling at its shiny metal, mysterious wheels, glass canopy, and roaring sounds. Ezekiel was fascinated by the craft while the pilot, who looked human, tried discussing religion and politics with him. Many people dismiss Ezekiel's experience as just a vision, but doing so might be an attempt to avoid confronting a reality that challenges our worldview, namely, the belief that we're alone in the universe. Interestingly, similar stories appear in other ancient texts. The Hindu Bhagavad Gita describes flying and spacefaring crafts, as do ancient wall art in Egypt and Mesoamerica. In the Book of Enoch, the writer describes journeys that take him far beyond those of Ezekiel, exploring the galaxy with the guidance of a mysterious entity named Uriel. Enoch learns about the stars, their movements, and cosmic laws, echoing themes found in myths from around the world, like the Mayan and Aztec calendars, and the Sumerians and Egyptians' precise astronomical knowledge. One striking example is the Dogon people of Mali. Their shamanic elders spoke of the Sirius star system, knowing it was a 3-star system long before modern science confirmed it. They claim to have learned this from beings from Sirius C, suggesting an ancient exchange of knowledge about the cosmos. In the Book of Enoch, 200 watchers descend to Earth, abducting human women and producing hybrid giants. This narrative parallels myths from various cultures, suggesting a widespread ancient belief in celestial beings interacting with humanity. Although the Book of Enoch isn't part of the official biblical canon for most traditions, it is considered scripture by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and was respected by early church figures like Clement of Alexandria. The New Testament's Book of Jude even quotes it verbatim. The stories in the Book of Enoch expand on themes found in Genesis, Ezekiel, and other canonical texts, offering a broader perspective on ancient beliefs about celestial beings and their interactions with humans. So next time you look up at the stars, remember these ancient tales and wonder about the cosmic mysteries that might still be out there, waiting to be uncovered. In the Bible, in the 6th chapter of Genesis, there's an extraordinary story that also appears in many cultures around the world. It tells of beings from another realm who came to Earth, had relations with human women, and produced giants, titans, or Nephilim. In the West, these ancient tales are often seen as myths, with these beings being viewed as fictional or literary creations. Some interpret the Watchers of Enoch and the Mamiwata people as spiritual beings, but this doesn't explain the accounts of interbreeding. In many African Christian and shamanic traditions, these beings are seen more concretely. They're called angels, but that doesn't fully explain what they are. They come from space, are physical like us, and can breed with humans, creating hybrids. They can travel great distances rapidly, possibly even between dimensions. These beings interfere in human affairs, behaving in ways that we might describe today as extraterrestrial. Serious research into the phenomenon of alien abductions was conducted by the late Professor John Mack of Harvard University. In the 1990s, he was asked to investigate the psychological state of military personnel who reported close encounters with aliens. He found that these cases could not be explained away as psychosis or hallucinations. They were real events that deserved further study. In 2009, Pope Benedict XVI called on the Pontifical Academy of Sciences to discuss the theological implications of contact with other civilizations. Monsignor Corrado Balducci, a leading exorcist of the Roman Catholic Church, confirmed that reports of contact with aliens were not psychotic episodes or demonic encounters, but interactions with different types of beings that merit serious study. Another fascinating area of research comes from astrophysicist Carl Sagan. In the 1960s, he wrote about the possibility of contact with galactic civilizations that might have occurred in historical times. He cited examples from mythology such as the Apkallu in Babylonian mythology, who were described as part human, part aquatic, and who imparted essential knowledge to our ancestors. In 1962, while at Berkeley, Sagan wrote a paper suggesting that Earth might have been visited by advanced extraterrestrial civilizations up to 10,000 times. These myths and stories about alien contact give us much to ponder. For instance, how do we explain the sudden development of civilization in ancient Sumer, where mathematics, astronomy, civil engineering, banking, culture, and literature appeared almost overnight? This could have been the result of external intervention, as described in the myths of the Apkallu. Every year in the United States, over 500,000 people go missing, and many of these cases remain unresolved. These figures should prompt us to take the phenomenon of abductions more seriously. The Book of Enoch describes how the extraterrestrial being Uriel taught Enoch cosmic knowledge. This theme of advanced beings imparting knowledge to humans is found in many cultures. Unfortunately, many people are afraid to talk about their encounters with aliens due to fear of ridicule or misunderstanding. However, by listening to their stories, we can learn much more about our world. It's time we start treating these accounts with respect and studying them seriously because they can reveal a lot about our universe. Across the world and throughout history, many cultures tell stories of beings from other realms who came to Earth and shared advanced knowledge with humans. These tales, stretching back thousands of years, often depict humans being guided and taught by higher beings. But are these stories purely fictional, or do they hint at something more? Take, for instance, the young woman in Logar, Ghana, who claims to have lived among the Mamiwata people for 3 years. Could her experiences be connected to ancient legends like that of Oan and the Apkallu, who supposedly helped humanity make significant advancements in the past? This idea is intriguing because it suggests that our evolution might have been influenced by extraterrestrial beings. There are also modern accounts of people returning from alleged alien encounters with enhanced cognitive abilities. One individual reportedly filled a notebook with advanced calculus after their experience, despite having no prior knowledge of the subject. These stories are often kept quiet because people fear ridicule or unwanted attention, but they resemble real-world cases of acquired savant syndrome. This condition, studied by neuroscientists, involves individuals gaining extraordinary cognitive abilities following a brain injury or trauma. The Mamiwata tradition also speaks of abductees returning with heightened intelligence and consciousness. This promise of enhanced abilities echoes themes found in the Book of Enoch, which describes a non-human population interacting with humans. While this might sound strange to Western audiences, it resonates with the stories of the Dogon tribe of Mali, who remember friends from the Sirius star system, and the Cherokee people of North America, who recall connections to the Pleiades. If we listen with respect to those who claim to have been abducted or had close encounters with otherworldly beings, we might gain new insights into humanity's place in the cosmos. The ancient texts found in the Qumran caves including the Book of Enoch, provide fascinating glimpses into these themes. The Book of Enoch, especially revered in Ethiopian tradition, includes sections like the Book of Watchers, which detail interactions between celestial beings and humans. These texts, dating from the 3rd to the 1st century BCE, were considered significant by various early Christian writers in the Essenes, a monastic community. The Book of Watchers, in particular, describes how these beings taught humans agriculture, medicine, and technology, thereby nurturing early human civilization. Given the high regard in which the Book of Enoch was held, one must wonder why it was excluded from the official religious canons. Perhaps the book's controversial content, detailing direct contact between extraterrestrial entities and humans, was too challenging for mainstream acceptance. Today, more than 500,000 people go missing in the United States each year, and many cases remain unresolved. This phenomenon should prompt us to take abduction reports more seriously. By respecting and studying these accounts, we may uncover new dimensions of our existence and gain a deeper understanding of the universe. The Book of Enoch stands out from other biblical texts with its account of watchers, beings from beyond Earth, who taught early humans how to farm and build civilizations. This narrative isn't unique to Enoch. It echoes myths from around the globe. Native American, Mayan, Zulu, and Babylonian stories all tell of ancient times, when off-planet beings intervened to help humans become a conscious, intelligent species. However, while such narratives persist in indigenous mythologies, they were excluded from the Jewish and Christian religious canons. A significant portion of the Book of Enoch focuses on astronomy, a topic largely absent from other Jewish texts but prevalent in Enoch. The Watchers taught humans about celestial movements, eclipses, and lunar cycles. How did the writer of Enoch gain such knowledge? Was it through direct observation, altered states of consciousness, or some form of remote viewing? The text leaves this question open, suggesting multiple possibilities. One of the most striking claims in the Book of Enoch is the abduction of human women by 200 Watchers, resulting in offspring described as giants. These beings are called Nephilim in Genesis, Titans in Greek mythology, and appear in various forms in other cultures' legends. The Jewish historian Josephus, writing in the 1st century CE, treated these stories as historical fact, pointing to the existence of giants in his time as evidence of ancient interventions. He noted that Greek legends also maintained written records of such stories, linking them back to Genesis 6, which briefly mentions these events, assuming readers already knew the story from another source. The narrative of human abductions and hybridization is challenging for many to accept. Enoch himself might be considered the Bible's first abductee, though seemingly a willing one. Genesis 5:24 states that Enoch walked with the Elohim, the powerful ones, for 365 years before they took him away. In Genesis 6, the Watchers are described as Ben Elohim, a term indicating they are a type of Elohim. Digging deeper into the source narratives, one finds Sumerian texts describing sky people or star people, with 300 stationed in the stars as observers, a term that aligns with the Watchers in Enoch. So why was the Book of Enoch excluded from the biblical canon? Biblical scholars agree that the Hebrew stories of beginnings were shaped and edited around the 6th century BCE. In Christianity, decisions made from the 2nd century onwards determined the New Testament's contents, which were then combined with the Hebrew texts to form the Christian Bible. Exploring these ancient texts and stories, we find recurring themes of advanced knowledge and celestial interventions. While often relegated to myth, they might offer deeper insights into humanity's history and our place in the cosmos. The decisions to shape the Hebrew scriptures were driven by a monotheistic worldview, which held that humanity is alone in the universe. This perspective led to the exclusion of texts like the Book of Enoch that mentioned entities from other planets or dimensions. Such texts were seen as introducing too many gods, which conflicted with monotheism. In my book, Escaping from Eden, I argue that the 6th century BCE edits to the Hebrew canon aimed to solve the problem of too many gods by merging the idea of God with other entities. This edit obscured the original narratives and created confusion about the nature of God in the Bible. Many of the stories attributed to God might actually describe interactions with extraterrestrial beings. Properly translated, the Bible is filled with references to non-human entities like the Nephilim, Anakim, Elohim, Beni Elohim, and others. The Book of Enoch is explicit about these beings, which is why it was excluded from the biblical canon. The prevailing worldview rejected the idea of extraterrestrial life, so the canon had to follow suit. This raises questions about why stories of ancient contact were suppressed, why accounts of human abductions and hybridization remained in other cultures, but were removed from Judaism and Christianity, and what purpose this secrecy served. Are we now in a time when this veil of secrecy is being lifted? Thank you and see you next time.